If you're a footballer and you feel like you lack confidence, you get nervous before games or during games, you crumble under pressure, or you play super well in training but can't quite transfer it into matches, and you feel like you're wasting your potential, then this video is for you. I offer a solution, which is mental training. This is a thing that has helped me go from a player who scored 3 goals in a season to scoring 20 goals in a season, winning the MVP 2024 award for my club, and becoming captain, now transferring into a higher division, all just because doing mental training. Before that, I used to sit on the bench, I used to underperform. So let me tell you a little bit more about mental training. So here are some benefits, I'm just gonna read them throughout to you. So, improved focus, stronger confidence, better decision making, faster recovery after mistakes, greater emotional control, reduced anxiety and stress, sharper visualization, increased motivation, more consistent performance, higher training quality, stronger resilience, clearer purpose, healthier identity, and deeper enjoyment of the game. These are just some of the benefits, but you can already see how impactful mental training can be on your game, on your potential, and pretty much how you go through whole of football. So let me now show you some videos of professional players and the best athletes in the world and what they say about mental training.
Best advice you could give to any younger player?
Player or goalie?
Anything.
Anything. I would say just get psychologists early on in the stage.
Yeah.
Psychologists or Pilates and yoga save your career, man.
I'm with you. Psychology for me, I think it's half the battle, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just a mental game in football.
Best advice you've ever received?
Work on yourself mentally so you can achieve whatever you want.
On your mind, you mean? How do you do that?
I started reading about it a lot. I think someone was telling me when I left I left Basel to Chelsea, then things not going well. He told me you need to work mentally, you need to be strong mentally, and you need to work here so you can achieve whatever you want. Then I started reading a lot about it, and it changed my whole life.
Mental strength, which is what I think is your great gift. Can you
I would
help
have to
us
correct
explain?
you. I have to correct you. It's not a
correct me.
gift. It's something that comes with work. Conscious breathing is a big part, especially in the moments when you're under tension. I don't like this kind of a mindset that I see a lot in sports, like just think positive thoughts, be optimistic. There is no room for failure and stuff like this. It's impossible to
You don't
do
buy
that.
that.
You are a human being. The difference, I guess, between the guys who are able to be biggest champions and the ones that are struggling to get to the highest level is the ability to not stay in those emotions for too long. So as soon as I experience it, I acknowledge it, I maybe, burst, I scream on the court, whatever happens, but then I'm able to bounce back and reset.
So you've heard the best in the world and what they think about mental training. Now let me also show you some studies to support it, not just some interviews from the best players in the world. This is the first study, so it's about cyclists. So these cyclists did 10 to 15 minutes of mental training daily for 3 weeks. What happened was their performance improved because their perceived exertion became lower and therefore the exercise felt way easier. The interesting thing is there were no extra benefits in doing mental training for 3 weeks against doing mental training for 2 weeks. This means there is quick results with minimum effort when you get into mental training and working on your mind. And lastly, there was also a control group that did no mental training and their performance actually got worse over time, which is also extremely interesting. From this first study, you can take that, just simple 10 to 15 minutes of mental training per day can make a big difference. Second study, we've got 30 college athletes who were all male and they did football, basketball and rugby. What they measured was their hip strength and improvement through there. There were 3 groups. First one did just mental training, second one did just physical training, and the third one did neither of those. The first group, they did just mental training, improved their hip strength by 24%. Second group, which did just physical training, improved their hip strength by 28%. And the last group that did neither had no change. So this is extremely interesting. There is only a 4% difference between doing just mental training and just physical training. Now imagine what happens when you combine the two. I'm definitely not saying you should replace your physical training with mental training. It's the power is when you combine the two. So when you do both, when you do physical training as you've been doing now for probably months and years, but you add the mental side to it for a few minutes per day. That's gonna make the biggest difference. Now here are some of the most common reasons why players actually ignore mental training. First, they think their mindset is fixed. That means they say, I'm just not confident, and that it's genetical to be more confident, to perform better under pressure. They're partially correct. Some players have it easier to perform under pressure, some have higher confidence naturally. This is the same with football ability. But that doesn't mean it's only genetic. What it means is some players have the predisposition, but you can work on it. This is very you can change this, go from 0 to 100. This is a thing that you can simply change with mental training. And you can clearly affect this with mental training. Second reason why they ignore it is they wait until they hit rock bottom to actually start with mental training. This is another huge mistake, and you can see it from the best players in the world. Obviously, they started doing mental training just because they wanted to get that edge. That's what's going to get you to that elite level. You need to want every single piece of improvement you can and try to maximize it. That's what's going to get you ahead of those already great players to get even better. And there is no reason to wait until you hit rock bottom. Every single one of us can improve with doing mental training and improving their mind. Third reason, no one ever taught them how to train it. The good thing is I am here for that. You can check out my YouTube channel and get a lot more information on that, on how to improve yourself with mental training, how to actually taught how to use it, how to train it as the best athletes in the world. And lastly, they confuse mental training with motivational hype. There is a complete difference between watching motivational videos, David Goggins and so on, the hustle culture bros and so on, compared to proper mental training. The proper mental training, elite athletes use it. Meanwhile, the motivational videos, this is for people who want quick dopamine, so they just want to get super hyped up for a moment, they want to get a motivational hit, and then it goes back down again. This doesn't improve your mindset. This gives you a little bit of motivation for a little bit of time, but it's definitely not healthy. Instead, you should focus on this side where you've got elite athletes using proven strategies that help them perform under the highest pressure at the highest of levels in the Champions League, in the World Cup, and so on. And lastly, here are the reasons why you shouldn't ignore mental training. So it's just as important as physical training. You can hear Salah talk about it, you can hear Emi Martinez talk about it, and all of these athletes mention the mental side, and it's not just a coincidence. There is actually science behind why mental training is as important as physical training, and you should see it for yourself, try it for yourself, and you see the results very soon. Second, small daily habits compound into major performance improvements. As I mentioned through the studies, you just need 10 to 15 minutes per day and you can get major performance improvements. Meanwhile, you don't get any physical strain at all, which means you can train the same you've been training, add in 10 to 15 minutes, which is nothing. You can literally do that while you're traveling, while you're sitting on the toilet or whatever. You can do your mental training. It's extremely simple, no physical strain, and it has major performance improvements. And lastly, the best players in the world prioritize their mindset. So why shouldn't you?